Life often makes no sense. Sometimes you feel like God does not care. A movie by the Money and Business Channel. Life can be challenging for most people on planet Earth today. Everything is always working against you. For the average person, it is hard to think of life as doing anything else but the same thing that you did yesterday. Life sucks for most people. Life can get boring as you age. Opportunities become less for you, and you begin to ask yourself if this is all that life has to offer you. You pray, and yet you feel like God is not listening to you. You ask God to open doors for you, and yet no doors seem to open. It is like you are sitting there waiting for nothing.
I think that having a relationship with God is hard. You often want to ask Him questions about your life, but often wonder if He is listening. You often want to ask God why things are happening in your life that you do not understand. Life is a challenge for most people. It can be hard to understand what life is all about when nothing seems to change.
If you are like me, you ask God why He is not allowing something to happen in your life. Perhaps your finances are not where you want them to be. Maybe your health is on the decline. No matter what it is, you want to just feel like there is hope. I know that life is stressful and at times, and you want to give up. However, know that giving up will not get you anywhere. You must keep on moving forward and realize that your life is not going to always be this way. Someday, you will find answers that lay deep within you. When God lays something on your heart, you will begin to see it coming into clarity. I know that life is stressful, and you often feel like, what is the point of praying? God is not listening anyway. It is an emotion that every person on earth feels from time to time. No matter how strong your faith is, you have doubts at times. When this happens, I turn to the stories of my ancestors. I often tell myself that they had harder lives than I did, and no internet or television to help them in their own journey of life. I realize now that I cannot understand everything that God is doing. All that I can do is ask Him to help me, to bring me to the point at which I can express myself easier. God has it all figured out even when I do not.
I want to say that it is not easy to believe that God really has a plan for you. It seems like no matter what you do, life never changes. It is always the same thing. You pray and you do not feel like you are being heard. Ask God today to give you an answer and wait for Him to come to you with a response. If He does not, keep praying. It is the only hope that we have that our lives will someday be where we want them to be.
In business, we will always have our difficulties. Sometimes we will think that our business is going to grow and we will make more money. However, we often come to see that we have our good days and our bad days. Some days are great and other days are sad. We want to believe that we can have power over our own destiny. However, we often come to realize that money has a mind of its own. It is like we do not really have a say-so over what happens in our lives. We simply take whatever life throws at us. We really cannot do much about it. It sucks when we have friends and family that do not seem to care about us. We have seen how they act towards us. They are jealous or simply hard to handle. Either way, you cannot count on them. They may even make you feel worse when you talk to them. I can understand what you're going through. To me, life is more about what happens on a day-to-day basis. I think that life can have its difficulties. However, it is what we do with that energy that makes all the difference.
We can either give up on life altogether or keep walking on our journey. After all, nobody really knows what the next 10 to 20 years will hold. Your luck and life will change and turn around for the better. There is nothing worse than feeling like your life is always going to be the same, that you were born with no purpose other than to roam the earth with no true path. It is hard to believe that some people make it big in life while others suffer and get nothing. It is hard to say why this happens. However, we can always count on the world changing around us. No matter what, the earth will still be here long after we are gone. We must look at the good things about life. At least we have a chance to explore it and see what it is all about. Some people that are supposed to be born will never get to experience it. It is good to know that we have options in life. We can do what we feel is right for ourselves. It often does not take money to do that. We only need to realize that God is by our side and that He loves us. No matter what, life is not as bad as we think. I know that at the worst moments of life, we often see that it can be much worse. There is nothing worse than walking through life feeling like you never have enough food to eat or that nobody loves you. At least someone in our life loves us, or at least say they do.
In business, we must see that we are doing the absolute best that we can possibly do each day. All that we can do is hope that someday God opens the doors for us for further success. If we never see this kind of success, then it was not meant to be. All that you can do is to push forward and ask yourself what God's will is for your life. Try to understand what you want and then go after your dreams. Try to dream big and never think that something is far out of reach. We can see that our dreams and visions come together when least expected. We only must ask God what His will is for our lives and come to see that we can look at life as being something that we can fully understand and learn more about. I think that when it comes to making life decisions, doors open for us when it is meant to be. Sometimes we want things to happen faster and then it does not work out for us. It is when we least expect that something big happens that works in our favor. Yes, it is good to see the life that we want to come into full fruition. Your main objective is to see that you can have opportunities if you only put your mind to it. It is going to be okay. It is all about waiting and focusing on what you want most of all. If it is a thriving business, then never give up on that dream. No matter what, you are going to make it.
Let God show you what His will is and then go from there. Write down on a piece of paper what you think God is saying to you. As you walk each step with Him, make sure that you know and understand where He is coming from. We can never fully understand God, but we can sometimes see a little bit of the direction that He is pushing us in. If you have a dream, it's always important to pursue it. Many times in life, you will feel that you are not going to accomplish what you started out to do. In today's fast-paced world, we often want to believe that we have little opportunity for getting to the next level of life. However, we need to keep on striving forward and making mistakes as we get to our next level. For some people, this takes weeks, and for others, months and years. There is nothing wrong with seeing success early or late in life. After all, we all have different lifestyles and parents. Perhaps you had a good set of parents that took care of you, and your success came a lot sooner than someone that had to fend for themselves throughout life. It's never easy to explain why this happens. All that we can do is to try and make the best out of the difficult situations that we so often find ourselves in. Never think of yourself as a loser. Sometimes you see successful people around you. They are often the same age as you, and somehow they have advanced a lot more than you have. Keep in mind that they may not have had to walk down the same road as you did. Maybe you had a hard life and had to endure a lot of heartache or even a horrible childhood. Nobody knows your true story except for you. You are God's creation. Never forget that. God doesn't create garbage. However, He often gives us circumstances in life that are hard for us to handle. However, when we get through troubled times, our faith grows. We realize that our life battles were not as difficult as we thought that they were going to be. As each day passes by, we are reminded that we have the strength to make it another day.
Thank you for watching this movie about life often makes no sense. Sometimes you feel like God does not care. Please subscribe to our channel so that you can watch more great videos like this one.